I'm pleased to be joined on Pioneers Pregame Live by the assistant coach of the Elmira Pioneers and Nate Kruckow. And Coach, just getting started, your overall thoughts on Sunday's doubleheader split versus Niagara Falls?
I thought we played really well Sunday against Niagara. 13 innings of good baseball. Unfortunately, the bottom of the first kind of screws us over. We can't complete the comeback. But overall, it's a good tone setter. Try to carry that momentum into today. 13 good innings and try to get 9 more today.
I want to go back to Game 1. Bobby Boying lasted 5 scoreless innings, limiting the walks as well. What did he have going that made him so effective on Sunday afternoon against a first-place lineup?
He had a really nice fastball splitter combo work in that game, and it was obviously keeping them off balance. And limiting the walks is something that we've always talked about here. So sometimes our pitchers struggle with that, but he set the tone nice and early and 5 strong innings and ready to see his next outing too.
I want to touch up on Carl Wagner. He's caught some great games behind the plate recently and caught that shutout in Game 1 of the doubleheader. What have you liked from his catching game defensively?
I think he does a really nice job, obviously receiving the pitches and setting up his pitches well, but off the field a lot with him, you notice he does a great job getting to know his pitchers before the games and kind of knowing what they're going for. One of his biggest strengths, obviously, is knowing the pitchers, but also he calls a great game. He knows what to do and knows what kind of counts to go after, and obviously keeps hitters down, so he's doing a great job back there.
Ty Hodella out of the University of Bridgeport made his first start on Sunday, got touched up a bit in Niagara Falls, but in the same breath, what kind of contribution are you excited to see in terms of what Ty can provide to the Pios in the second half of the season?
Really like the way he pounded the strike zone, and we know he's coming off a good year at school and a good year in this league last year with a different team, so really want to see him go back out there and kind of just show his stuff. We're going to get him another start in a couple days and look to rebound and go from there.
A 7-6 loss in Game 2 of the doubleheader on Sunday. Pios did trail 7-2. You guys got it to 7-6, stranded the tying runner in scoring position to conclude the ball game. What changed offensively in the later innings as opposed to early on versus a tough right-hander in John Ondas?
I think it's a lot of just kind of going back to doing little things. Obviously, long sack fly from that game, and the guys just it was a different vibe from the other kind of games. There's a lot of courage there. We kind of thought, hey, we're starting to get back into it, capture some momentum. Obviously, with the bases loaded in the one inning, didn't score. First and third one inning, ended up stranding another couple runners. Just about getting that one big hit to break through and get some extra runs. And I think we're obviously saying that a lot this year. We're like one hit away from really breaking through as a team.
Did you think that game on Sunday could have been luck in either way? Because you don't have XPA in the PGCBL, but Anthony Manganiello tagging it in the right center field gap, that unbelievable diving catch. Did you see a lot of that, and did you like the plate approaches overall, despite the loss in Game 2?
I did. Mango has obviously caught a lot of barrels lately and getting a little unfortunate, but that's baseball. And I think we just got to do a little bit more with runners in scoring position and start to maybe believe as a team to go back and kind of keep that approach to the middle. Like, do the little things well. Obviously, you get runners in the corners. A simple sack fly does the job. So I think we got to go back to the little things.
It's been notable lately, the stout offensive impact that Ty Martineau has provided when in the designated hitter role. What is it about Ty that makes him such a competitive and uncomfortable at bat for opposing pitchers?
He does a great job of getting bat on ball. His bat to ball, eye-hand coordination is unbelievable. He's a tough out every time, go up there, work 6, 7, 8 pitch at bat, and I think when he is able to do that and get guys on base, it inspires the guys around him to be better and puts more pressure on the pitchers, and they go from there.
Brett Baker is off to a strong start in a Pioneer uniform, 2 hits and an RBI in his opening ball game plus as an Elmira Pioneer. What has Brett been doing so well at the plate to begin?
I think Brett has a lot of gritty at bats. He locks in and shows patience at the plate and works long counts, puts barrel on ball in the end, and add all those together, and much like Ty, bat to ball, and it puts pressure on pitchers. When you add in that speed that he can use, he really puts it all together, and it helps out the team.
How much of a luxury problem is it for you and the entire coaching staff right now in terms of deciphering between the second and third base position? You got the elite lockdown defenders in Brendan Hammer, John Simmons, Jacob Moniz. How exciting is that to interchange those three on a nightly basis?
One of the best problems of the coaching staff is to have a luxury of guys that you can throw out on a nightly basis, mix and match, and even ride the hot hand at times. So that's kind of probably what we're going to look to do down the stretch is we ride those hot hands, into a playoff run, and kind of we'll see from there.
Pioneers are 1-3 versus Auburn this year, 0-2 at Falcon Park. What is it that's going to have to change tonight in order to beat a very tough Auburn squad?
I think we got to get on them early, try to put up couple runs early, win the first inning, win the second inning, win the third inning. You end up winning all three, you're going to be in a pretty good spot the rest of the game. So I think the goal is jump on him early and go from there.
Tonight, you turned the ball over to Bryce Mashanik, usually utilized in relief situations. He's been dynamite so far this year. What intangibles does he possess every time he takes the mound for you guys?
I think he's got great composure. He'll lock in. He can come out of the pen in a big spot, shut it down for you, start a game, shut it down for you. So I think his composure, he really locks in out there on the mound. And if he can obviously stay locked in and be there tonight, it's going to be a good night.
What's changed for the bullpen from the opening couple weeks until now? Because it's been notable that you have guys like a Garrett Rochon, a Casey Julkowski, and a Bryce Mashanik that have been getting the job done on a nightly basis.
I think it's a lot of guys starting to get used to each other and building off of that, and then you get used to the mounds, obviously. And when you bring guys to the pen, they show up in a big spot. They show that resilience that you're looking for out of bullpen arms. And I think they feed off of that, and maybe it feeds on to the next guy that you bring out too. And you can even feed off that from a starting pitcher. Starting pitcher goes out there with those 5 shutdown innings, while the guys in the bullpen, they want to follow that up.
Tonight marks the halfway point in the 2025 PGCBL season for you guys. What are your overall feelings as to where your club stands as we enter the second half of play tomorrow evening?
Just above 500 right now, obviously. Second half, it looks like we need to be a little bit better if we want to be where we want to be at the end of the year. So just taking things one game at a time, though. Try to win each week and more or less each day and even each inning. And going from there, because each game counts big, so one game at a time.
Coach, thanks and best of luck tonight.
Thank you.